What go on with it, my homies? I have to work on the Jamaican accent, but my African one is on point. So I just finished watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You ever watch something and be like, what the hell am I actually watching though? Anyway, I haven't done this in like a year. Okay, it hasn't been a year, it's been less than a year, but I haven't done this in forever, so please excuse my horrible reviewing this. Let go. So, guess what? Carly is in the credits. Alright, so the episode basically starts off with Mimi, and she's doing her makeup, and Mimi looks like, I don't know if she's stressed, but she looks like 10 years, okay, I'm not looking back, 10 years has been added onto her face. Like, she looks stressed out, putting on makeup anyway. So she leaves the bathroom and it pans to her daughter, and let me tell you, Stevie J and Mimi make cute children because their daughter is precious. And then after, you hear this dramatic music change and it pans to Stevie, and it's like, oh hell. So I'm like, what is going on? Stevie and Mimi sleeping together, back together? Anyway, she gave this sob story about how, oh, you know, I was really tired, I didn't want to wake the baby, so I just slept over that night, but nothing, blah 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 blah. And then after, supposedly that night, Jocelyn walked in and was like, why is Mimi in my bed? And so like Mimi is like, I want to keep Jocelyn away from my child, even if it means that I have to stay here. So Mimi is staying with Stevie just to keep Jocelyn away from the baby. You know, it's cause you want that date. I mean, Scrappy moves back in with Erica, and Erica's like, look, we have a wedding to plan for. You need to change your spending habits, okay? And he's like, So it goes into Jocelyn at, I guess, one of her rehearsals for these shows that nobody ever knows about. But yeah, and Stevie J walks in like, oh, you disrespected my daughter, because supposedly Jocelyn said that Stevie's daughter Eva doesn't really matter, and she's like, whatever, I don't know what you're talking about, I want you, blah 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 blah. You know Jocelyn, but I can say this, like, I was calling Jocelyn Jose a couple months back, but now she's a Jocelyn. Like, I was like, whoa, Jocelyn looks good, like Jocelyn looks pretty. See what a good weave could do to you? A good weave could turn drab to fab. Stevie's still on his old antics, like, oh, I made you, get back to work, cause you working for me, blah blah blah, like Stevie. So it goes into Shay and Mama D. Long story short, Shay still is like, has feelings for Scrappy, but Mama D's on her like antics, like, I am the queen, but if the prince wants to do what he wants to do, I, the queen, cannot help it. I cannot dethrone the prince. And like, they really need to figure out her meds, because they're obviously not working, or like they're not strong enough. Like, but the meds, man, the meds, they really need to get that together. Ultimately, Shay and Mama D are trying to sabotage Erica's relationship with Scrappy. So it goes into K Michelle, and basically, hey boo. So, and basically K Michelle's back in the studio, and she's talking about, this made me laugh so hard. She's like, I want to be a mix between Fergie and Jesus. And I was like, oh gosh, K Michelle has not changed. What do you Southern people name your children? Mignon? Really? Anyway, so Erica's mom is basically like, look, I don't really trust Scrappy because he's been a hoe in the past, but if it makes you happy to marry him, then it is what it is. And Erica's like, you know what? Like, I love him, blase blase. So she goes to get the ring of praise. That's what they're doing. Tell me how. It's an 18 karat gold, blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't really know jewelry talk. But tell me how he spent $21,200 on that ring. Put it on to make him wanna marry me. Put it on to make him wanna marry me. Put it on to make him wanna marry me. Okay, I mean, just picture it with a ring, like not a ring pop or an onion ring, but an actual ring. Benzino has some radio show that's late night and Jocelyn's on, and basically because Jocelyn's mad about what happened the other day, she's like, I'm single, like I'm not with Stevie, I love Stevie, but it's like a work relationship, I'm single. So Benzino's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be messy, because I guess Jocelyn never officially said to Stevie that she was single. So K Michelle goes and meets Erica, and they're doing like a wine tasting. Ooh, acid reflux. And they're doing a wine tasting, and basically, K Michelle is like, I got signed. And then Erica shows K Michelle the ring. K Michelle's like, I want to do something for you. I want to throw you an engagement party. And Erica's like, it's my engagement party, right? So can Arian come? So K Michelle's kind of beefing with Arian because Arian slept with one of her exes, and then yeah, so she's a little apprehensive to invite Arian, but Arian, she's like, okay, whatever, Arian could come. But then after, Erica's like, how about Rashida? And K Michelle's like, nope, And mind you, in this whole thing, I still have not seen Rashida up to this point. No Rashida scenes. Jocelyn's at her house doing cleaning, I guess, if I don't know. And Stevie comes over with a mink, and Jocelyn's like, honestly, like, you making me feel like I'm a prostitute, Stevie. And he's like, I'll pay for sex with you. And then she's like, well then what do you want in return for this? And so yeah, basically Stevie felt like he was losing her because she said he was single, so he's buying her love with minks, or it said fur, but I mean, it's all mink to me, right? But that's kind of all I got from that scene, because I'm telling you, Jocelyn's weave, like that looked like some virgin, I'm not even gonna say Brazilian, but it was like some virgin Peruvian or some Euro wave, because I was like, girl, your weave is all quick, and it had like this red mahogany tint to it. Thank you. A good weave could turn drab to vibe. So it cuts to the engagement party, and this scene was the best scene ever. I'm telling you, I think this is the best scene I've ever seen in Love and Hip Hop history, like both New York and ATL, because like, so I'm sorry, I don't know what I hate. So it cuts into the engagement party, and it's Arian, K Michelle, Mimi, and Erica. And I'm telling you, best scene ever, because small talk. Then after, Arian's like, so K Michelle, what's up with you? Like, how you been doing? And K Michelle's like, I want to talk. And then after, like, K Michelle's letting her feelings out, she's like, you hurt me. And like, it was so comical, because at the same time, like, Arian's trying to interrupt her, and she's like, no, you're not gonna interrupt me. I got my drink, I got my martini, I am gonna talk. And then, like, they're all laughing at the same time as being angry. But then, like, she's like, you hurt me, and she's arguing and blah blah blah. But then after, Arian's like, you know what, I'm never gonna hurt you again. If there's one scene that you should go back and watch, you should totally go back and watch that scene. It was amazing. Like, I was laughing so hard, because you know when two people genuinely like each other, even when they argue, it's like, I hate you, but I love you. So that's what it was. Greatest scene ever. Like, go find that scene. If there's a link to that scene, I'm gonna totally put it in the description box. So at this point, again, I'm like, where's Rashida? Like, what's going in? Like, so it goes into Mama D and Scrappy Baby, the Prince of the South. I don't know who's the king though. It's like, you're the king of the South or something. Anyway, so they're at some store called Mode 401. I don't know why I remembered the store name, but I remembered it. And long story short, Mama D's like, by Scrappy proposing to Erica, he is making a big mistake. And he's like, look, got along with Erica, goddammit. And she's like, but I really like Shay. Shay lost weight. She looking real good. And Scrappy's like, no. And yeah, that's basically what happened. It's the last scene now, and Mimi and Stevie are in Stevie's kitchen, and she's cleaning the sink in a shirt with the Barbie on it that says "Trust No Bia Bia," and I don't know what they're talking about, to be honest, because like I feel like everything is so like when they talk, it's like really like they just don't stop. And all of a sudden, I heard the door open. When I heard the door open, I was like, uh oh, like it's like he, for someone who has money like that, he should really oil his doors. But anyway, Jocelyn walks in like literally half naked. She's in a cheetah print like sports bra looking thing. And she's like, "Oh, is that your maid?" She looking like a maid in her maid clothes. And then Mimi trips. Oh, I remember what they were talking about. They were talking about him wanting to buy off Mimi like he buys off Jocelyn. And she trips. And then after she's like, "Get this hoe out of my house." And then after, like she locks the door and Stevie doesn't have shoes on or something. Anyway, so Jocelyn gets back in her car and she goes to the studio. Well, they're supposed to be going to the studio, and it's a Lincoln. I realized that about the car. It was a pretty car. But then there's a bathroom scene, and Mimi's like, "You didn't defend me, and you didn't defend my daughter. She called me a maid." And Steve was like, "She was joking." And then Mimi literally gets in his face like this, and she's like, and bites his cheek. Like, what kind of cannibalistic? I don't. She really bit his cheek, and he's like, "She bite me?" And then he says something stupid, so she takes the water and tosses it. Takes the water and tosses it in his face, and then after, like, he's vexed. So the producer is pulling him out, and he's like, "You know what? Clean up my room, maid." And then it cuts off. So that was basically Love and Hip Hop Atlanta this week. To keep it 100, I was looking at the previews and I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are living this way. This is so much drama. Does your life have this much drama? Because my life really doesn't. And if being rich means that life is gonna come with all that drama, actually I don't really care. I'll take the drama for the money. They're getting paid to have dramatic lives. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Remember, it was my first time doing this in forever. If you want me to do next episode, I'm still kind of apprehensive about doing these things. Anyway, but if you want me to do next episode, be sure to tell me in. You know, I'm not gonna point anywhere because every 6 months it changes. So yeah, later.